Hello and welcome everyone.
Welcome back to
28 Days of Love. I'm Kim.
And I'm Dr. Neil.
And we have a great couple for you tonight.
Yes, we do.
We've got
George
and Ingrid Stubbs. And they just celebrated 25 years of marriage.
Is that the diamond? Is that the diamond?
I really don't know.
Well, anyway, it's 25
25 years. And anybody who can make it for 25 years got something to say.
So
And
tune
in tonight for 28 Days of Love with George and Ingrid Stubbs. All right, we'll see you soon.
Welcome everyone.
Welcome to 28 Days of Love. I'm Kim.
And I'm Dr. New.
Yeah, sing your song. All right, so I'm excited. I'm double excited because as I was telling my husband, I have known Ingrid since high school. So I'm excited that I haven't known her husband that long.
I'll go back.
Yes, way back since high school. But I am super excited. Back to Cadillacs
with the wheel on.
No, we're back to the bear cat rule. So we're going back, and I'm excited to hear her and her husband's story. It is going to be super good. Anybody who can make it for 25 years.
They got something to say.
So let's just bring them on. I'm
ready to listen.
Hi, Ingrid and George.
Y'all go back to high school. Now, Kim older than me, so high school, that means...
See, he always has to tell people that. Unmute. Okay. I want to make sure unmuted. There we go. Hello to the Stubbs. Welcome to 28 Days of Love.
All right.
But they're so quiet.
No, yes.
But I've got some questions to ask them because we're loud. We're wild and loud.
Y'all ain't getting to sleep. That thing.
But wait a minute. So Ingrid, were you 81?
We can't say that.
Okay. I was an 83 graduate, but that's all good. So anyway, we're going to get this.
You was 83.
He graduated in 83, and he always tells people that I'm older than him. And I am a few months old. I am 8 months. But George, does he have to tell everybody?
Months don't count.
That's right. It don't count.
She was robbing the cradle.
I wasn't robbing no cradle at 8 months. But yeah, so we're going to get started. We got some great questions because there's just things that I just want to know. Right. So we're going to start off with you guys just telling us your name, a little bit about yourselves, and then we got some other good questions to ask you.
Ladies first.
Ingrid Stubbs, and let me see, what can I say about myself? A mother of two. I love to travel. I'm a hardworking woman. I'm always doing something pertaining to sales. Right now, I'm currently real estate agent.
Okay.
And, today I was out delivering my Valentine's treat. So I'm just always doing something. I'm just passionate about helping people.
Yeah.
And I just
can I interrupt? Because you said real estate. So do you do like seminars and things for folks?
I haven't, but I'm open to doing that, especially for first-time home buyers, because they're trying to own a home.
There you go.
Yeah, I saw your picture with your box of hearts and stuff. I was like, hey, that's so sweet. I wish I was her neighbor. I'll take some candy.
We virtual neighbors.
So, George, tell us a little bit about yourself.
All right. My name is George Stubbs, and I'm originally from Miami, Florida.
Oh.
And
Dade County?
Yes, Dade County, the one and only. Yep. And I'm IT technician.
Oh.
I'm on a little vacation right now.
Okay.
But I've programmed. I've worked for military installations.
Okay.
Wow.
And I worked at Harley Davidson for about 20 something years. And I came to York to get a good job from the Air Force, and so it worked out. And I've been here since '78.
Okay.
You found a beautiful woman. You had to stay.
You're right. You're right.
See, I knew we had something in common. We got these ladies got us stuck here.
That's the Bearcat girls.
It's all good. It's all good.
Well, I'm just glad to hear that.
Yeah. So I just want to know, can you tell us how you met and what attracted you to each other?
Yeah, that's good.
Let me tell my part first.
Okay, you go ahead.
Two stories.
Two stories.
Like I saw Ingrid going to I used to stay across the street from her mom, and they used to wake me up getting up early in the morning washing their car. And I used to be mad at them till I saw this girl walking across the street. And I was like, who is that? And I heard her say, hi, Mom, hi, Dad. I was like, oh. And her body figure was very attractive.
Oh.
When I saw her, and I said, if I ever get a chance to talk to her, I'm going to marry her.
Okay.
Ingrid said I was stalking her, but I wasn't.
So he had a whole Friday incident, right?
Yeah. He was like, who is that?
He was like, it's not your beauty.
What?
Yeah, she was pretty. She was pretty. She was everything.
Oh, that was that back when the song Brick House was out?
Yeah.
No, Brick House was when we were younger.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah.
But I think that's so cool that they were making noise, and then after a while, that noise didn't get mad. No problem.
She came walking. She's like,
came by. There she goes.
Make all the noise you want.
So, what's your story, Ingrid? How did you all meet, and what attracted you?
We met at church. We were having an all-night prayer, and he came in, and the pastor at the time, Pastor Ronald Leonard, was giving him some words of encouragement. And I saw him, I didn't pay any attention, but then he came back to church. And one of the things that we used to do is go out after a crime and pray over that area. And one of the gentlemen at the church, he told me that George likes me. And I said, no, he don't. And then he said, yes, he do. He just told me he did. So George kept coming to church, and let's see, one day pastor needed some help with the computers, and he said that George can look at it during the week. So I was letting him in. So we just started talking, and I didn't know that he knew me. So I was going to just play a little game with him and tell him I was from New York and all this stuff. And then he said to me, so what island is your parents from?
Wow.
Like, hold up. Someone to say that, because everyone think when you have an accent, you're immediately from Jamaica. So I'm like, okay, he know a little something. And then he said, oh, and I know your nickname. I'm like, what? So the nickname, I used to wear it on the back of my shirt back in the day. So I'm thinking, he really know what he's talking about. I just, the game was over, and we just talking. It was just like a divine connection with us.
Wow.
And we was just trying to keep it on the DL, and I'm looking at him. I'm sitting on one side of the church. He's sitting on the other side. I just used to look over and look at him. He was always smiling. He had this wonderful smile. And I could tell that he just had a pure, loving heart. And I was just drawn to that. So we knew that we wanted to be married without even saying it. We just knew we were the one for each other. And we just continued dating, and The rest is history.
Yes,
Oh,
great history.
Okay.
That's awesome. Right. So wait a minute, George. Did you know that was Ingrid's church?
Yeah, that's what I was getting. I went to
Oh, you did it?
It was a lady that I worked with at Holly Davidson that was a member of the church.
Okay.
And so I was in kind of rough times at the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, she invited me to the all-night prayer. And
okay.
So I said, well, I don't have no money to go out, so I can go to church. I went to church, and the pastor impressed me and stuff, and he was telling me stuff only God knew.
Oh, yeah. Right. Yeah, Pastor Leonard.
Like,
yes.
Whoa. And so that made me want to go to the church because they were teaching. He was a teacher.
Okay.
And he was talking, stuff that I needed to hear. I knew, but I was being wild for about 20 years.
Right.
So I thought it was time for me to go to church.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
No, I just want to know, did it help that Ingrid was there? That you came back again.
Well, yes, it did. It did. Yes, because when I went to the all-night prayer and she was there, and I was like, "Oh, that's her." And then she was calling our pastor her dad. He was her spiritual dad.
Yeah.
And he had a son, and at first I thought he was married to Ingrid. But then, and I was a little sad, but I kept coming to the church. So one Sunday he brought his family in, and when he did that, I had a smile for about.
There you go. There you go.
That is so sweet. Yes, Pastor Leonard was a great pastor.
That was the Sunday you got us on.
Newt said that was the Sunday you got your shout on. I would have got mine on. So you guys have 25 years. I love the pictures that I saw on Facebook.
Yes.
Of you guys celebrating those 25 years. This is our 24th year. So you guys got a year up on us. So we're trying to glean from what you guys have to say. So what can you tell us is key to establishing like strong marriage foundation? What's that thing, the key thing that you think would really help someone to establish a strong marriage foundation?
You have to have Christ in the center, and prayer. Never stop praying.
Yeah,
we got to pray for each other.
Yes.
There's times where you're not going to feel like praying. You got to pray, and we always seek wise counsel. We don't have all the answers, and you need a third party coming in and just giving their point of view.
Yes, that's so good.
And that way you can
I thought that was your phone.
Mine sounds just like that.
Same alarm.
Yeah, that way you can get the guidance that you need.
That wise counsel thing is so powerful right there, Ingrid.
Yeah, it is.
Because and naming it as that third party, God being that third party that you need in order to make that relationship work.
Right.
You need that third party.
That wise counsel thing is interesting. If we could just dig in a little bit. So wise counsel, you don't always hear what you want to hear.
Right.
No, you will not. You will hear what you need to hear.
Right.
Yes.
And having that wise counsel, and I'm talking from a spiritual level, not cousin or even your parents or someone, because they will be biased. But when you can get it from a biblical and the word is given to you, then you have that guidance to go by. And then it's a different outlook that you will see. You will look at that person in a different light that you're not ordinarily see that person in.
Right.
That's so
that's
true.
Good. That's really good.
Look at them a different way when you have the word behind you. Absolutely. Because it makes you see Christ.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you want to add anything to that, George, with the foundations?
Yeah. The by having Christ in your foundation, it doesn't make it easier, but it makes it more acceptable. And you don't, because if you go by human feelings, it won't work.
It won't work.
And and you always have, and if you know the Holy Spirit and you listen to the Holy Spirit, that would help you a lot. Not saying it's going to be a perfect journey, but that you will, it won't be as bad as it could be.
That's a fact right there.
Yep.
And you definitely need the voice of the Holy Spirit to speak to you and to remind you and to show you and bring all things to your remembrance, as the scripture says, whatsoever I taught you. Absolutely. That is, and I like how he says it's not going to be perfect. I think on one of our commercials, that's one of the things we're saying. It's not going to be perfect, but it's going to be worth it.
Right.
It's going to be worth it.
Right. Yeah. Since you brought that up, it's not going to be perfect. Tell us about, how do you handle those spirited fellowships that come up every now and again?
The situations in our marriage.
Well, for me, it's like I learned from how I was brought up and being in the church. I have to listen to what is said, and before, not just blurt out what comes up to my mouth, but I have to think about what was said. Sometimes I get chewed out because I don't say nothing right away, but when I do say something, I want it to be the right thing. It's not because I don't like arguing, but I will say what I have to say. But I think about what I say before I say it.
That's so good.
Wow, I like that.
I just posted a clip not long ago of my daughter-in-law and my son, my daughter-in-law and son, and they said pretty much the exact same thing you were saying, that she's the one who won't say much right away. He's the one who wants to talk right away. She wants to go and pray to make sure she's saying exactly what needs to be said. So you are in good company, Mr. George. You're in good company. How about you, Ingrid? How do you handle when it's that tension, spirited fellowship? How do you handle spirited fellowship?
I'm going to speak on, I'm going to say, I'm not going to be quiet, but George is usually the quiet one, which is a little irritating because I'm like, say something. But the whole time, like I'm talking, I'm just seeking God, like as I pray. Prayer is my main thing. So I'm usually praying about something, but I'm going to speak about it. I just cannot be quiet about it. You know, it might come out a little harsh or whatever, but I'm going to speak on it. So, but the thing is, I don't stay mad. I can't stay mad.
There you go.
So we might have a disagreement, and shortly after that, there's peace coming in the home, because I cannot stand a home that's not peaceful.
Yes. That's so good. That's good. That's a great lesson to any viewer, anyone listening tonight, to keep in mind that instead of holding that thing, because we know that bitterness and stuff like that causes cancer in the bones and causes our bones to get sick and deteriorate. So when we forgive and let those things go so that we can have peace in our house. What's the song? Oh, what peace we often forfeit because we don't take it to God in prayer. So I love that you said you pray. You do have to say what you have to say, but you're definitely praying on the way.
I think what's cool also about what you said, Miss Ingrid, is that you said, I don't stay mad. So to those of you who are watching, she's reminding us that we're in control of that emotion. I choose whether I'm mad or not. It's not something that comes upon me, you know. And so I love that. So you guys both, when we ask you, how do you handle the spirited fellowship? Right. You guys both went to communication. Communication and communication styles. So if we dig in a little bit on communication, because that's one of the foundations in a marriage, right? What do you do intentionally on a continuous basis to make sure that you continue to communicate and keep your bound, what am I going to say? Your marriage bond strong.
We embrace each other as much as possible. We exchange kisses.
That's right.
and we try and do things together.
Okay.
You know, it could, because Ingrid's into a lot of sales stuff.
Right.
I'll chauffeur her around to do projects and stuff, and you know, and we talk about what's going on and just talk about different stuff.
Right.
So we try and keep in touch with each other.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I love that. Even and this is the first time I've heard this, but I really like that how he mentioned how being physical, hugging, kissing
is a communication.
Right. And you know, you don't hear that much. Yeah. So you hit something right there, like ding, 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 ding. You ring the bell, Mr. George, because a lot of times and communication, if you go to communication classes, it tells you it's the body language, it's your emotion, your expression. 80%.
Communication is nonverbal.
Yes. And so today you really rang the bell on that. Yes. That maybe there might be a time when your words might not be seasoned with grace, but it doesn't mean you can't embrace that person, hug them, spend time with them, take them for a ride, you know, go along with them, talk about what your day is. Yeah. That is some strong foundational stuff for marriage for sure.
I don't know. You got more to add to that, Miss Ingrid? I don't know. He's trying
to put a little competition there.
he likes to, like, if he sees like I'm looking serious, he'll start to tickle me. So he'll laugh. He'll do something silly or whatever, and if he's doing something silly, immediately I'm laughing. It's out the door.
Now, see, I get in trouble.
Because I don't like being tickled.
I get in trouble when I do that.
Because my people used to tickle me so much till my stomach hurt, and then I get mad and I start punching. So he's always trying to tickle. I hate it. But that's what he loves to do, because that's what his dad used to do, you know. And he hides behind doors and walls and jumps out. Like, it's always a game, you know. But Mr. George, I see you got a little game playing too.
Yes, I do.
I love it. So we kind of talk. All right, another question we wanted to ask you was about nurturing that marriage relationship, and I think you kind of really touched on that. So let me kind of parse it out a little, because you said when he sees you, you know, like maybe down or serious, you know, he lightens the mode, he lightens the attitude. Are there any things like that you do intentionally for Mr. George when you see he needs something extra? I mean, that you can share online.
Well, that's already known. We're gonna go to something.
He is a very unique person. Aww. He does not get mad. He is the most peaceful person there is. Aww. So I don't really have to do anything. But we constantly talk. We talk every day. We talk several times a day. I'm calling him and we're just talking about, you know, whatever's going on, what our plans are. We both love to travel, so we'll like think about what's the next trip, whether it's a big trip or a small trip. And he's just that support person for me, because I'm doing so many different things. A lot of things, you know, getting me off track, and he'll just calm me down and like, honey, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna work itself out. So he's that kind of person.
Oh, but you did mention something you do. You call him throughout the day.
Yes,
and George was sitting there with a big old Kool-Aid smile on. So, like when that phone rings, he'd be like, "Bling!" Because it's probably a love language. Have you guys ever taken that love language test?
Not really. Not really.
We're gonna send you a link.
We're gonna send you a link. Because I'd be surprised if George's isn't, you know, just some communication or affirmation.
Yeah. Affirmation. I know that. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's always like because he seems so happy to hear that we talk about talk. Oh my gosh.
We talked about conflict from within the marriage. We talked about speed bumps and roadblocks, you know, spirited fellowships from within the marriage. But we've been married long enough to know that there are things from outside the marriage that can add stress to us. You know, not get between us or anything, but can add stress. You know, work, children, bill, you know, those kind of things like that, right? How do you, if you want to give advice to someone, how do you work together to partner together so that those external forces, like, you know, have no effect?
That's a good one.
You have to support one another.
Yeah.
And I can think of a time when George had lost his job at Harley Davidson, and that was a lot because the financial burden of that. But no matter what, I supported him and just encouraged him through that. You got to draw closer to each other when the hard times hit.
Yes.
He didn't know what to expect because of past situations. And I just like stayed, hey, we can do it. And just kept going. And you just got to really support one another during hard times, because one time you're going to be up and the other person's down and vice versa.
Exactly.
Love that. Love that.
I do too. We have a similar testimony of that same thing. So we get it. We understand. My husband tells this story often that same thing happened to him. And he didn't know what to expect. And I was like, well, we're going to just go ahead and do what we do.
Yeah, and I'm like,
he was looking like, huh?
That's all.
And before you know it, you know, God gave double of what we had at this time. So, you know, when you do support each other, it's just powerful.
I don't know, Mr. George, anything you want to chime in on there? Like, what are some of the things you think about when those external? Because I know as a man, sometimes we see those things a little different than our wives.
Like the time she was talking about, I was like, I was a little nervous because I thought I'm getting kicked out and thrown in the trash and stuff. But she did surprise me by giving me support, and that made me want to complete what I needed to complete to make things like they were. And it was support. And I was kind of surprised, but I wasn't, because
who she is.
Yeah, because who she is. And it was and also having the Lord and the Holy Spirit in your relationship and in you, it kind of gives you a armor to reflect stuff off and to continue on your way.
That's right. That's right, George. That's right. Putting on that whole armor of God that you can stand against the wiles. I have a question for you too. So I heard you say you like to travel and you plan trips and things like that. Just what's a vacation that you guys went on, and what did that do for you guys when you guys came back? Like, did it renew some things? Tell us about one of those vacations.
Well, we went to Nevis St. Kitts, and it was the first time that I went, and it was a lot of fun. And when we came back, it was like drawing closer together.
The honeymoon started all over.
Yep, new honeymoon. Because when we were there, we had to draw closer to each other because we were with each other. And then when we came back, that just the feelings and the drawing together kept going.
Momentum. Yes, I love it.
So
I love it.
And it's an important thing. You don't have to go far away to do that, which we went short ones and did the same thing. But you have to do that to stay closer to each other.
Keep building that relationship so much. So Ingrid, was that your favorite one? What about you?
Well, no, it was, but the Dominican Republic, that was definitely a second honeymoon.
Yeah.
Because I think we had the kids. Was the kids with us at the Nevis?
Yeah.
So we had the kids on the trip that he's talking about. The one that I'm talking about, the kids wasn't there. It was just him and I. So that one was definitely, and that was early, a little bit earlier in our marriage. So it was like, you know, we just kept that fire going, and that was a good one for us. But
wow,
it was a beach somewhere. We're good. Sunshine. That's our thing.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's his language right there. A beach and some sunshine. That's all he needs. We just did the DR ourselves this year.
Especially if it's all inclusive. I'm good because now I don't have to worry about food or nothing. That's
what we did.
I love it. I love it. Let me just ask this, Ingrid, what island are you from?
I was actually born in Nevis. So in Nevis, but then I grew up in St. Croix, the Virgin Islands.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
I never knew, but I knew you were from an island when we were in school.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, but I didn't know that. Imagine that.
Yes, how about that?
That's beautiful. Now, do you still have family there?
Yes, I do still have family, and we still go back and visit.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
We got to come over and get some oxtail.
See, that's
George thinks that's funny.
Because there's a story behind that. I was determined not to marry an island man. So different things I saw growing up. But lo and behold, George's family's from the Bahamas.
What? I haven't been there yet. That's next.
Bahamas. Oh, yeah.
Island. So I didn't
got all the places for us to go.
So I didn't learn how to cook it because I didn't think I needed to. So I go to my mom when I want it.
Oh my God. The Bahamas, George. Wow.
Yeah, that's what Mom's Women's Church is.
My grandma, my dad's parents were from the Bahamas, and my grandmom used to go at least once a year. And I was going to the Bahamas from the time I was about 6.
Really?
Wow.
Just to see, because I was her bodyguard.
Okay.
Well, my husband wants to go there, George. So we're going to be calling you guys up and getting some information. He wants to go to the Bahamas.
Bahamas next, and then Barbados after that. That's my plan.
Yeah. All right.
He's got all these things going. But I would love to see St. Croix.
Yes. Yes. That's where Aunt Bay goes. I think.
Yeah, my aunt goes there. My Aunt Beth and Kirk goes a lot of places.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh
yeah,
my
we done got way off track.
I know we got so it was
good. But you know what? Along the lines of what you're saying, because you're from 2 different places, although you're still kind of in the Caribbean. But when we come together to get in the marriage relationship. We bring different things to the table. You know, we've had different upbringings. We have different ideas, you know, sometimes goals, dreams, ways of doing things, you know, raising the kids, doing finances, certain strengths and weaknesses. How do you bring those differences that you both inherently have? How do you bring them to the table and make them work together?
Make them fit.
We basically have a lot of similarities. A strong family background. George's family is very, very close. My family is very spread out. So we didn't have like that real closeness to that point. But strong family values was very important to us. Growing up in church, we wanted to raise our children in the Lord, definitely train them up in the way of the Lord. That was something that was really important to us. A lot of people with a Caribbean country kind of background, they're hard workers, they're determined type of people. And so we have those similarities. So we really didn't have to bring too much together. We just kind of connect.
Wow.
Wow. That's
well, that's pretty awesome.
That is.
I know, especially with the
Froze up.
island backgrounds, hardworking. So the cultures are pretty similar, and in the family unit. So now,
so what about like skill sets?
Yeah,
like things like that, like
things you admire he can do, and things that he admires that you can do.
Sometimes one is good at finances and the other one's not. So you know, is there anything like that exist in your?
Yes. 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 Because because Ingrid is good in financing and budgeting and stuff, and we have accomplished a lot because Ingrid, and like sometimes people say, well, a man's supposed to run the house and do all of that, but my uncle from my mom's side said he didn't delegate, but his wife took care of the financing like Ingrid do for our house. And it's been a real positive experience.
Right. I love it.
Because, you know what? I'm sorry. Go ahead. No. I want to hear what the rest of you.
But it was because before I got married, it wasn't that I like threw money away, but I didn't have any financing experience.
Right.
So, and Ingrid said that, you know, Ingrid just said, well, we got to do this, and this. Okay. You know, and it works out. It sounds positive. So I didn't have to, but I did agree.
You had to. That's something that we learned from premarital counseling, because our pastor said, whoever is stronger, let them do it. It's not, there's no one role designated to a person because you're male, you have to do this. So he gave us that red, the green light on that. So I just went with it.
That's Pastor Ronald Leonard, right?
Yes.
He was that man who was so compassionate and so loving, and he was never trying to be the Charles in charge. He was like, let's make this thing work. So I love that. And that's something good for those of you listening. It doesn't have to be one particular person. It is that gift that person has. And you take them and put them together.
I love the way George pulled that out. That's what I was going to say when I interrupted you before. That thank you for saying that for men and young men.
Yes.
You know, as a strong male yourself saying, listen, that wasn't my strength. It was hers. So I handed it to her. You know, even though it's a thing that socially our society says a man should do. Well, if I'm not good at it and she is, you know what? That's why we married, right? I'll give you an example, just real simple one that I know. Kim can take a room full of stuff and pack it in a little closet. And we're like, we moved across country, we moved this stuff. I knew my job was to carry this stuff out and put it where she said.
Right. That's right.
You know, I wasn't even going to try to organize it. That's not my strength. That's hers. You know.
That's right. That's right.
And we had some movers, and they were like, "So where do you want this?" And I was like, I was looking at Kim like, "Where do you want?"
Yeah.
But anyway, I appreciate you for saying that. So that's going to help. That's going to help some folks a lot. And then, Miss Ingrid, you came right behind it, and you said, you know, if one is stronger than the other, that's why we're married. That's why we're together.
Yes.
Well, that was powerful.
That's so good.
Yeah, that was really good.
And my husband's big on that whole thing by making everyone aware that it's the two that's becoming one. And you bring yours, I bring mine. So a few years ago, we wrote a book called Baggage Claim. We wrote a marriage book called Baggage Claim, and we talked about the things I brought to the table and the things that Nuke brought to the table. And we both brought things that were good, but then we brought some things that were no good. And we had to make some decisions what to get rid of that did not work in our marriage. Not that those things were bad, but they weren't going to work with what we were trying to put together. And so it's just super important for us to be able to see what works and to see when you say, okay, I mean, I can handle my finances. They're not going to be as good handled as well.
There was some bad. There was some bad too, though.
Well, I think we all got
I was off the chain. So
you're right. We've had some rough edges.
Yeah.
But that just makes us polish better.
Yes.
You know, when the Holy Spirit is done sandpapering us off, well, we not only are we polished, but do we shine? Right. Because we allow him to do that work in us.
Y'all done got Kim excited.
You did. You did.
So I want to ask you this question, right? As we start to wind down here. So you have 25 years in marriage, right?
Right.
If your younger version of yourself was standing in front of you right now, what would you tell them?
That's kind of tough. I would tell myself that I have to have an open mind and open heart going into a relationship, and not to like try and overpower the couple's decisions.
That's so good.
That's really good. Yeah. Man, that's something we need to hear every day, huh?
Yeah.
That's good. Not trying to overpower the couple's decisions.
Yeah.
It's got to be the couple's decision.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, that's good, George.
That really has.
Had to break that apart a little bit. Yeah. That was good. Open heart and an open mind.
Yep. I'm gonna write that down for good.
Yeah, I might have to make a T-shirt.
Miss Ingrid, what would you tell your younger version of you?
Yes.
It doesn't matter what you go through, you can make it with God.
Wow.
Make it.
So that implies
stuff.
That implies you're gonna go through some stuff.
Go through some,
That's amazing.
You can make it. You can make it. I don't know who we were talking to just the other day, but those similar, I think it might have been my cousin Darlene and Marshall, very similar things, just know that with God, all things are possible. Right. You can get through it,
right?
And we're a living witness. Yeah. You're a living witness that we can get through difficult things. We were made for hard things.
We come through the fire.
Yeah.
Don't even smell like
Don't even smell like smoke. That's so good.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Listen, we only have one more. Well, we have like 1.5 questions, but we want to give you a chance to say, is there anything that you guys are working on right now? Any projects you have that you like people to know of, support, or anything like that? And if not, I got another question for you, but want to give you time to kind of what you got going on over there?
Real estate. Not individually, but just that I'm a real estate agent, and just home ownership is available to everyone. Okay. There's some things that you got to do to line up and be prepared. And if anybody's interested in knowing how, I would like to talk with them and show them, get them on track towards that. Home ownership is a generational wealth because you're leaving something for your children. It doesn't matter if family prior didn't own, but you can own, and we got to think about the future and the next generation and that next generation.
Yes,
so it's possible. Yeah. And
so how can folks get in touch with you?
Yeah,
they can on Facebook, Messenger.
So go ahead and say what your Facebook is, so that people know that you are, especially those who are interested in owning a home, because you're going to get some people.
They can contact me by my name, Ingrid Stubbs, and just message me that way, and then that'll be the best way. Just go Ingrid Stubbs, and then we can do it. With Iron Valley Real Estate.
I'll tell you what, if anybody else who's listening, if you're having issues getting in touch with Miss Ingrid through her way, obviously you're listening to us, so you know how to get in touch with us. You can message us as well, and we will forward that to Miss Ingrid, because home ownership is a big deal. I don't know if you were here when we started, but I asked her that question in the beginning because it got wheels turning in my head, that these are the kind of services and things, or maybe talks that we can offer in the future through launch. But anyway, Thank you for letting us know that, Miss Ingrid. I don't know what else y'all got going on over there. Anything else? You got a fish fry happening?
Somebody trying to eat. He's trying to eat from the islands.
One of the passions that we have is to because we love to serve and help people. So eventually we want to be able to have apartments to help like lower income people. That's not something that we're doing now, but that's something for in the future.
Come on and speak it.
Yes, indeed. We're gonna that's released right now.
That's a prayer.
Yes,
we're gonna pray. We're gonna pray for that one.
Yeah.
And watch God do it.
Well, we've had a ball talking with you too. Yeah, we gotta connect. We gotta connect offline and
because Ingrid was like, me and my husband are just very, we don't really have. Y'all done dropped all kinds of bombs and explosions.
Right. So before we go, I know you said what you would tell your younger version of yourself, but before we go, for any young couple out there, a young couple walks by you right now, what would you tell them? Not you as a young couple, but what advice do you want to give to any young couples that are thinking about marriage right now?
Mm-hmm.
They have to find the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because the Lord will help you more than you think. Help you in your thinking and how you live.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll help you reach your goals.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so that would be a very important part of your marriage.
Yes.
It won't and it's not where it will control everything, but it will, because it will keep you on the right pace and taking the right steps.
Yes, it will.
Got you.
Yes, he will.
Got you.
What about you, Ingrid? What would you share with that young couple?
Echoing off of him, keep God first.
Okay.
Get yourself out of the way.
Yeah.
See what God is saying. And
get yourself out of the way.
Okay. And that's for those of us who have been married for 25, 50, 75, 1 year, or not married yet. Get yourself out of the way and seek the Lord. Those are the things.
I used to like y'all.
Get yourself out the way, brother.
Oh man.
Oh my goodness. This was beautiful.
This has been amazing.
Thank you so much for agreeing to share your story and to share with others and helping us to promote that beautiful covenant called marriage. And we appreciate it. We're going to have to get together. Look, me and Newt's going to have so many dinner dates. Yeah. We got to get together.
I'm going to turn up my workouts.
We have to get together. I will be in touch, but thank you so much. And everyone out there, remember, if you're looking to be a homeowner, remember that generational wealth it will create. Yes. Reach out. If you can't reach out to Ingrid Stubbs on Facebook, you know how to reach out to Newt and I. We will forward the information.
You heard it right here on
28 Days of Love.
Marriage is one of the best decisions I ever made.
God ordained and established this covenant. We are part of that beautiful union.
So it's time that we promote this unconditional love and help families understand how.
Through prayer,
faith,
commitment,
sacrifice,
humility,
submission,
and the love of God,
you can have a beautiful,
lifelong,
loving marriage. Now, it won't be perfect,
but it will be worth it.
So join us for 28 Days of Love
on February 1st through the 29th at 6 p.m.
as we celebrate love and marriage
and change the visual narrative we see on social media by presenting a healthy marriage
and share the benefits of covenant.
You can expect to hear encouraging testimonies,
communication tips,
how to relate with your mate,
establish new love goals and growth,
write a marriage and family vision, and singles learn how to prepare for your partner,
as well as gain ideas for dating
as a way to reignite and dial up that love flame.
see you Thursday, February 1st at 6 p.m. for
28 Days of Love.